I'm tired. Body's a little bit beaten down, just a bit. Like, everything feels good, right? But at the same time, it doesn't. Like, I just have low energy. So this is actually like the first day since like the big lifts from last block that I actually feel a little bit like myself again. So hopefully I could take this 485 as like my first warm up, and it moves like how it should, and it feels right on my body, and everything kind of like goes okay. And then we can kind of just like build from there, you know? And by the way, welcome to another YouTube video. This format is gonna be a little bit different, a little bit old school, like how things used to be, to where you just kind of like take a ride with me as I lift, and we just kind of like see what develops from there. It moves better than what I feel, so as long as I just ignore the feelings and just pay attention to the video and just get the work done, as long as the work is done, I know everything else will just like solve itself. Yeah, it just becomes like one of these times in prep where like you did so much work that now you're tired of just like doing work. You want to get the result. Like, you just want to know, like, all right, my hard work that I'm doing, that I did, like, what is the outcome? Like, what happens? Like, do I win? How do I win? Like, how does it all play out? You know, do I get a chance to really like, you know, be a part of like these great moments? And then it just allows you to just have that like sigh of relief of like, like, I'm so glad I did that. Like, it's done. Whereas right now, like, you're still just building into that moment. So now you have like the anxiety and the, not anxiety in a bad way either. It's just anxiety of just like being excited for the day, and it's still not here. Like, you go throughout your day, you go to bed, you wake up, you're like, damn, it's still not competition day yet. So, yeah, like, I just wanted to go ahead and like be here already. I want to go ahead and actually do the sport part. Like, I don't want to just like train anymore right now. I want to do the sport part because I'm too excited for it. And all this stuff now starting to hurt. That's the reason you don't listen to your feelings. Your feelings lie to you. They do, I promise you. Like, if I would like have listened to my feelings before deadlifting the 660 for 2, I would have like definitely not have done it. I would have told myself there's no way, like just how things were feeling. But sometimes you just gotta know like just how strong you are for certain weights, and then just go with that. Now, if it looks like a RP10 on video though, you might want to chill. There's this one video that I saw that went a little bit viral, and it was like this 65-year-old dude who looks like he's like 30 or whatever, and the guys were calling him Unc, and he said, "No, hey, don't call me Unc, call me Granddaddy." I was like, hey, yo, pause. Like, I just want to be clear. No matter how old I get, none of y'all ever call me granddaddy. No, don't ever say daddy in the name of anything that you want to call me. That nigga was tripping. I know you guys can see me because this is actually the third take, just because I'm black, right? So, you know, with my, with this great melanin skin comes some technical difficulties when getting behind a camera. So, for this session, I'm done, and I will be taking you guys into my secondary squat and Larson tomorrow. But before I shift over into that, one of the things that like this session showed, or something that's like really, really important, is that you have to get through the session. Do not predetermine how a session is gonna be or how you're gonna feel after the session just because you're tired or you're beat up or you feel like shit. Because I felt that way going into the session. I felt that way going into my top set. And then after my top set and my back downs and my accessories, I feel way better now than I did at the start of the workout. Like now I feel like I could go sprint, I could run, my body feels a little bit better, I don't feel as beat up. And sometimes your body just is craving stimulus, and that's all it needs. You need to actually lift heavy sometimes in order to feel better. And if you don't, you know, have the courage and the discipline to just like go through with it and just finish the session that you're programmed to do, you will never be able to feel what it is like on the other side of things. So that's some things for you to take with you, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace. Welcome to the second day. This is the next day. Today I have squats and I have some Larson press. My body feels a lot better, tremendously better. Yesterday I felt like straight trash. Now I was actually able to like get up, take a shower, move around, and I didn't feel like it took 1,000 days. Even like today, like starting off with squats, I usually start with like one red, and I actually need to like do a lot more warming up and stuff like that. But today I can already tell that my hips and like my legs feel ready. So I could pretty much start with 2 reds today to try and like, I don't know, try and get this session a little bit done faster. I feel like I butchered that entire sentence, but it's nice to try and just get work done because I gotta work on a lot of the background things when it comes to meet week, which is like doing programs prior to the week because I'm probably gonna take the whole week off. I need to make sure that everyone's set because I think I'm gonna have some people help me out in the back so that way I'm not like lifting so much for some of my athletes that are competing. And I need to see about like, you know, what other things, gotta make sure this is even the right leg. Yeah, ooh, guessed it right. Should have trusted myself. And I gotta see like what other things that I may wanna do around like the competition day. Like I still haven't really like I have a whole bunch of these socks and I haven't sold them or put them up on a website, and that's because they originally didn't come out with the same color coding that I wanted. Cause like this at first was supposed to be like gold, and a lot of them are gold, but then the black version of the sock, like the reverse, is more mustard yellow than it is gold. So like the gold represents like winning, right? That's why I wanted that to be like the first launch. Mustard yellow doesn't really represent winning though, but hey, you know, hopefully you guys, you know, don't mind too much, and because I think I'm gonna just like release it because I think it just makes the most sense. People that support me. People who rock it. I'm not gonna be overcritical because at the end of the day, I gotta get rid of them somehow. So. I feel like I took caffeine. I didn't even take any caffeine today at all. But I feel just like, that's because it's hot as shit in Texas, so that's why. The heat, as soon as it smacks you in the face, it'll wake you up. I record on this side, my left hip side, because I have a little tilt, as I'm sure most people, if you've seen my squats before, you'll notice there's a slight little tilt with them. And if my left hip is able to look like it's at depth, then my right hip for sure is hitting depth. So that's really the only one that like I always want to make sure that I'm hitting depth with. And I definitely hit it here, so that's good. But I will say, getting through these last sessions is so tough. Nothing feels like how it did last block, but that's the point. That's all the fatigue is coming from last block. So time to just take off the fatigue and then peak into the comp and be stronger than everything that was last block. So just a journey to get through it. It's beautiful. But yes, I did progressively start losing breath. Yes, that did happen. I swear I'm in shape. I just don't know why I'm not displaying that right now. Go do some cardio after this to get this ache out of the way. Or hopefully, as I go through my back downs, hopefully it kind of goes away then. Stick with your feelings. You would feel as if like the session was ass. But looking at this, I could definitely tell that this is moving pretty much about like how it normally would move on like this week. If anything, it actually looks pretty good, especially the second rep for like this week. So like I could have definitely loaded probably like 584 to 590 and it'll probably move at the same speed. So it's just one of those things about like your perception because of fatigue can definitely lie to you. The mind will definitely lie to you a whole bunch. Because looking at this, I'm actually pissed because I wish it actually felt how I see it moving on video. Because then I was like, oh, meaningfully in here. And now I'm just like, damn, my hip kind of hurt. I don't care. This is nowhere close to being called a PDF file. Like, it's not the same. Like, all he's doing is talking about Meek, clowning him, and then basically saying like your girl's better than you or more successful than you, which is a roast, but it's like Meek Mill could go live life afterwards. Like he could go into a daycare and live his life. He's just gonna be laughed at. Like trying to put that on the man, it's like nah, that ain't the same. That ain't the same. I don't care what any of y'all say.
Okay, got you. See, that is once again still very similar feeling to what I was feeling, what Sean's feeling as well. And it's weird. It's like, because part of me almost sometimes was like, oh dang, is it just pushing too hard the block before? And it's almost like oh we outpaced it or whatever. But I don't think that's what it is. Because one, the only thing that was quote unquote harder last block was the squat. That was it, and you still go through it well. You took the rest of that week pretty smoothly. And if anything, that should just have us feeling more prepared. I just think it's going to be a thing where we're probably going to like feel better, come more to life more so on the week 3 going into it. I think it'll be fine. Because even this back down you said here looked good. Like you're just intentional. You trust yourself down the hole. You just drove through really, really well. And even with the deadlift, like I know we took a big deadlift last week too, but like it was so easy. Legally at that load has that acute fatigue factor. I don't feel like we're outpaced in terms of recovery. So, and the thing, let me ask you this: how do you feel your lower body accessory work? Because that's the thing. If it's a matter of the legs just feel kind of heavy, like I'm doing a lot of work, we're fine. Because once we hit that taper, we're gonna be good.
That's a good question. My lower body stuff feels normal. Like it really doesn't feel, it honestly doesn't feel too different. Like all my lower body accessory work, it still feels pretty much the same. I don't feel as if like there's any difference there. The only thing I will say is like my left glute and like my left leg isn't as connected as it was before. But honestly, even after finishing up this last back down, I do think that it's just one of those, this is a week 2, I'm pushing more weight than I've previously done on a week 2, going into a week 3, and then like, this is after like the biggest 2 blocks of fatigue put on me, because like that'd be like, you know, a 680 squat and a 705 squat back-to-back blocks, and then an 804 deadlift and an 821 deadlift back-to-back blocks. And I think that the reason I'm able to still push weight well, and I just feel a little crappy, but the fact that I'm even able to still push weight well in the first place and kind of like start coming back to life is because ultimately nothing was ever too hard. So I think that this weekend will let me know for sure, but I think this weekend will be fine, because low-key I felt worse going into competitions and came out fine, so it's not like that. So I'm pretty confident. I was just letting you know that like the body's still a little shitty, so it'll be nice whenever it starts coming back to life a little bit. Also with like the meal timing, I woke up at like 2:11 something, so I think one more day of that, I think I'll get my body back down to like 210. I could definitely tell I was just like bloated and inflamed though, so, and the gut itself is just inflamed, so I think that was having me store a little bit of weight. Because I also noticed that I haven't even been using the restroom as much as I normally do, so like I'm definitely having some like gut inflammation going on. That was a lot better. A lot better than last week. It's one of those things where like I've felt like shit before going into competitions and still made it out on top. Like I think going into last year's nationals, I literally could barely squat. And then for the life of me, I was finally able to squat like 680 something, I think like 3 weeks out or something like that. And I was like, oh yes, like I have life again. And then for bench, I think that I struggled with like the low 400s and stuff like that. And then for deadlifts, I couldn't deadlift shit. I failed 800 multiple times. Couldn't really deadlift anything in like the mid 7s. Like low 700s were like a little tough for me, or didn't feel like effortless. In this prep, that's clearly not the case. So if I have a little bit of like fatigue or feel a little bit beat up, once the taper sets in, I already know that like I'm still gonna shoot through the roof, because all my other past tapers have literally brought me to where like it seemed like there's no way I could win to like consistently winning. And the only time that I lost of recent years is literally Worlds. And then that was just on my last pool. And that was a prep where the heaviest I went was 750. And I low-key failed it because I couldn't really finish the lockout. And then I was able to at least pull 780 something to secure third. So I'm excited to see what's in store now. All right, so there we go. That's the second to last secondary session that I have to do. My last secondaries will be done next week when I am in, I haven't decided yet. I know my last deadlift session will be here before I fly out. And then on Wednesday, I'm either gonna do my last squat session in Atlanta or I'll do it here. But then after that, only one more bench session, then rest, and then guess what? Then we compete on Saturday. This Saturday is gonna be Compound's grand opening. So you guys will see me there, or that's gonna be like what the next YouTube video is gonna be about. And yeah, I'm excited. Like I feel anxious, but like excited, anxious, and I feel ready. Despite like what my body feels like, despite like the fatigue that I have currently on me, I do feel ready, and I'm excited for everything, and I'm excited for all the 93s. They're all strong, but I'll be the strongest, so that's all that matters. So this is life, and we're gonna live more of it. Peace. I'm tired.